You got them outsider's eyes now. Seen all sorts of wonderful stuff, haven't you?
Who's there? G'day everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving straight back into building Corvo's mask. We are going to be making the lenses. Let's start with the basics. The mask has two different lenses. The right eye, which is a multi-turret lens, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute, and the left eye, which is an aperture. An aperture controls how much light is let into a lens or a sensor, or in this case, our eye. Truth be told, I actually had no idea how either of these lenses were going to work, but after a bit of research, including a very helpful article on how to make an aperture from paper, I was able to design my own that I could then print out and cut from brass. Unfortunately, this is where I hit my first snag.
Oh, these are small.
I needed a level of precision that I couldn't guarantee by hand, so I turned to CNC. And this is where I hit the second snag. You see, brass is a very reflective material. It can actually reflect the laser beam from a CNC laser cutter. And most places won't even touch it. But what about water jet or plasma cut? Well, unfortunately, due to the kerf size of these cutting methods, I wouldn't be able to get the precision that I was looking for, meaning that CNC laser was pretty much my only option. After calling what felt like every single laser cutting company between Perth and Mandurah.
You know the game Dishonored? Hello?
No. I knew that I had to settle. I'd get the parts laser cut in stainless steel first, and then use those as a template to cut my brass. And after a couple of weeks, we finally got all of our laser cutting back. This is $194 worth of laser cutting. almost works. Almost. Ah! So after a couple of days of tweaking, this is where we're at. It actually kind of works, almost to the point where I'm happy with it. Unfortunately, however, if I take the mask and I try and slip it inside, it's kind of big, like kind of really big. And because I couldn't get it quite to work the way that I wanted it to, I decided that I'd just have a look online, and I found one that is going to work a lot better. It's significantly smaller, and I think we're going to be able to get that to work a fair bit easier. But we're not done yet. We still have to finish the multi-turret lens. So now, as you can see, I've got the spring in there, but you can also see that I've got a fair bit of play there. And that is because of the shape of this. I need to recut this part, and where I've got my notches, I am going to have a 90-degree drop off, and then that 45-degree, which should help catch it a little bit better. I also need to do a little bit of adjustment to the spring, but before I do any of that, let's talk a little bit about what this is actually meant to achieve. Basically, a multi-turret lens allows someone to quickly change between lenses. Usually this is to do with like camera focus or zoom or something like that. In the game, it sort of allows Corvo to see a lot further. So that's when I started doing a bunch of research to try and work out how to make this work. And what I found was I needed a convex lens. This is a convex lens. As you can see, it increases the size of the font as I scroll over the top of it. And this is perfect for what I'm after, except for an interesting little quirk. So convex lenses will distort the light of whatever you're looking at, but as you bring it further and further away, they distort the image so much that they invert, flipping everything upside down. The worst part is, if I tried to hold this
directly up to my eye, yeah, that's about what you can actually see.
And all of this is because of a fun little thing called focal length. Basically, not only the distance between a lens and my eye, but also the object that I'm trying to see and the lens. I don't understand physics, but I guess the main point is you can't take a telescope and shrink it down into a 10mm tube. That's just not how physics works. So, this puts me into a difficult predicament. If I can't zoom into an object, perhaps I could zoom out. And we can actually achieve this rather than using a convex lens, we use a concave lens. But the problem is just like the convex lens, this lens also has a problem if you try and hold it too close to your eye. To get it to a point where you can actually see the object that you're trying to zoom out on, it has to be about 200mm from the eye.
Somehow I don't think this is gonna work.
Anyway, I still have plenty of work to do in regards to fixing the shape of this and also making up a couple more lens holders. So far, they work. They line up with my eyes actually really well. They are so front heavy that I am looking up at the camera like quite a bit. So the next step is obviously trying to put these into the mask. But I'm going to leave all of that for the next episode because I'm not even sure how I'm going to edit this together, being such a mess. So many failed attempts at getting this all together. This has been a lot of work, but I hope you can appreciate that this is actually a lot of fun for me to do, and it's really fun to experiment with these mechanisms that I've never touched or even understand how they work properly. Thank you very much for watching this episode. We're going to get this finished in the next episode. I hope you guys stick around, and I will catch you all in the next one. In the meantime, do remember to stay safe, happy crafting, and as always, Cheers.